If I make this putt, I'm giving this ESP zone away. Mando fam, what is going on? Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit more chill rather than fast paced. So grab your coffee, grab your adult beverage, grab your water, whatever you want to drink while watching this video, because it is going to be just a vibe. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to review, not really review, but we're going to find me an approach disc that I can be confident in. I've always thrown the zones from Discraft. They have been absolutely money for me, but I need something a little bit different. So with me today is I have a Prodigy A2 and I have a Prodigy A3. The only difference between an A2 and an A3 is there's a bead on the A3 and there is not a bead on the A2. But then I have the ESP 6-time McBeast zone, and then I also have a Get Freaky zone. So we're really gonna try and just figure out what I need to do and how I need to throw each one in order to feel confident out here on the course. If you want to tag along, let's do it. We're gonna start with the Get Freaky zone on this hole number 2. Only 186 feet. Nice little backhand approach shot. That's all this hole is. We're gonna go A2, which is a little bit more stable than that Get Freaky zone, but we're gonna push it out there. I threw that thing out wide, but we're kind of good. Here is the A2 over here. This one was a little bit more stable. I did throw it out more wide. And then my Get Freaky zone ended up a little short. I thought I actually kind of pushed it a little bit further. There's an anthill here. I don't feel like being miserable, so I'm just gonna move that guy forward a little bit. Ooh. What's up? So as you're watching this video, you're watching holes 2 and 3 on the video, but actually 3 and 4 out on the course at Bailey Road Park. But anyway, I'm gonna get to that later. If you're like me, when you go to YouTube, you have a purpose in mind. You either A, want to be entertained, or 2, B, you want to get something from the video. And here's what I want you all to get from today's video. I want you to understand that the Prodigy and the zones are 2 completely different discs. And if you are going to compare these 2 discs, I did it for you. But really, I think it's so important to know your approach discs. That really is the highlight of this video. That's the whole purpose of this video, is you need to understand what your approach disc is going to do. Is it gonna go straight? Is it gonna fade out early? Is it gonna fade out late? What is it gonna do? So I highly encourage you to go out into a pitch and putt course, go out into the field with any new disc for this matter, and just throw it. Get to know it. Like, make that thing your best friend for the next couple of weeks. So that's what I want you all to get from this video. But if you're new to my channel, my name is Zach, AKA MandoMeade, and the whole purpose of this channel is I want you to see my journey in disc golf from MA3 to MPO, hopefully one day. And I want you to be able to learn from the struggles that I have made in my disc golf journey and apply those to your disc golf journey, so you can basically skip past those hiccups that I had in my journey, essentially. So anyways, that's my little plug to subscribe, but that is also my purpose for this video. Let's get back to it. Nice putt, Get Freaky. Come on now. Prodigy with the 3 birdie in a row. Let's see if we can go 4 for 4 here. We're on hole 5. And if you know me, I'm a big Discraft and DGA guy, so you can't really say that this video is scripted for Discraft unless they make a really cool comeback. Prodigy A3, a little bit stable. Not that stable, Zach. It found a way. How? I'm a lucky dude. We're gonna compare. I mean, both of these zones fly so similar. That Crystal Flex Get Freaky is a little bit more beat in, so we're actually gonna compare the A3 to this ESP one. The zones are just more straight. I don't know if that's a me thing, if it's a user thing. Hole number 8 is 172 feet. I mean, I chose Bailey just because it is so good for these type of shots. It's just all approach shots. It's a pitch and putt course. 172 feet. I want to go up this gap right here on the left.
And this is where that overstable approach disc would come in, because we're going uphill. So it's not gonna finish as much as it normally would. Whereas if I throw this zone, I feel like it's just gonna kind of go a little straight with a little finish. So it should be a nice comparison. We're gonna start with this A3, 172 feet. Gotta power down a little bit. Still a nice finish, good little skip. Should be a birdie. Gonna go ESP now. I was throwing on a little bit more hyzer, but not a ton. What the? I was throwing on a little bit hyzer, but not a ton of hyzer, and it's still finished. So I think the ESP is a little bit more stable than that Crystal Flex one. So I just got to kind of figure out those two, figure out the slot that those finish, but all pretty good. All right, so this is where they ended up. Prodigy A3. I think this is for 5 birdies in a row. And then my no, it's not Get Freaky. It's my ESP McBeast. Nice. Everything I'd want out of an uphill shot. Yes, it is only 172 feet, but we're gonna have those shots in a normal round. Thumbnail secured. It's time to loosen discs. 256 feet downhill. I really don't want to throw my zones on this because they go too straight. If anything, I'm gonna maybe even try and put this gap over here on the left side in between the left side of the electrical pole and this front left side electrical pole. These A3s and A2s should be able to swing around it. So let's do it. Got a headwind though. That's a little scary. I think that checked up. We're gonna go Crystal Flex now. That actually might be in the bucket. Hold on. That's OB. That's the one downside of throwing a forehand on this hole, not wide enough. But if I throw it too wide, I feel like I'm not gonna give it a chance to go towards the hole. That's still OB. The safe play is absolutely the backhand, but most of these approach shots that I do are all forehand. Three out of 4 are ace runs. I think all 4 are OB. This is the first one that is inbounds. The second one that is inbounds is my ESP. The third one that is inbounds is this A2. And then the one and only one that was out of bounds is my Crystal Flex zone. And it was still a little iffy because the OB line goes this way and the front of the disc is on the front part of the OB. So I'm not sure if people would consider that OB or not. I'll leave that up to you guys. I'll take a little droppy drop here. And we'll putt for the zone here and we'll putt for the Prodigy A2 and 3s over there. Maybe I just don't think while I putt and I become a better putter because I'm not thinking about any of these. And I've been, I think, almost 100% circle one. Bro, what is happening? Don't think. Disc golf putting tip. Hole 10 is a fun one, and I'm gonna do what I did, I think it was hole 7, where it's uphill and I just need something that finishes. So I'm gonna compare the 500 A3 to the ESP zone. I need to finish out of both of these, especially if they are uphill, rather than just going dead straight and just dropping down like a lot of my approach shots do. So we're gonna start with the A3 and then we're gonna go zone. Let me catch my breath first, holy moly. And now the zone. That thing's just more straight. That's all it is. There's nothing to it. Obviously it's parked, but I need something with a little bit more finish, especially uphill. So I'm liking this combo. I might have found something here. Now my original intention with this video is it was gonna be a winner take all. I was gonna do Prodigy versus Discraft, A2 and A3 versus the zone. But I'm quickly realizing that that is not gonna work out. A little high there. Same line. A2, absolutely beautiful. Crystal Flex. Now, the reason I don't think it is going to work is because I want something that is going to fade on me and that I know is going to reliably fade on me, but I also want a disc that is going to go straight. And I think I'm finding that with the Zone is a little bit more straight, and the A2, A3 combo is a little bit more overstable. So really, now what I need to do is figure out what Zone is a little bit more straight and less stable, and figure out what Prodigy approach disc is more stable, and we go from there. This is hole 14, 150 feet. The basket is up in that way. I'm gonna do my best to get out of the way and zoom in on it. Now, one thing that we haven't tested each of these discs on is this forehand flex shot to where it doesn't come out of it, but if it holds that line. I'm convinced that the Get Freaky Zone is the best disc on the market for this type of shot. So I'm definitely gonna throw that on this one, but I wanna see what these Prodigy A2 and A3s can do on that forehand. Nice. I went a little bit inside. I didn't mean to go that inside, but it kind of worked out. Oh, if that didn't hit the tree, that was going right at the basket. We're gonna start with the A3 now to compare it to that Get Freaky. I think it's just too stable because it just stabled out. It didn't really hold that line. And that was kind of to be expected. Here's the A2. That one's just as stable. The one thing that I've heard a lot about, especially from one of my friends that is sponsored by Prodigy, is that these guys, the A2 and the A3, are more stable. But he did say if you keep throwing this A2 for the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 years and it gets beat in and warped and all types of deformed, it's gonna be that straight with a small finish approach disc that I really want. So it's gonna be a kind of hard thing to figure out if I wanna use the A3 or the A2 more. I feel more confident with the A3 in my hands right now, but if I wanna beat in that A2, I'm obviously gonna have to keep throwing it. What is going on with my putting today? Okay, friends, last hole of the day. I don't really know how many holes I just recorded, but it was fun. So what we're gonna do on this last one is it's 308 feet. I'd be shocked if I can get my approach discs 300 feet. I'm gonna put them on a really nice Andy line and hopefully they flex out. I know the Prodigy A3 will. The Zone, I might just have to throw flat and really hard. Gave it a nice rip. That might be under the basket. Okay, Prodigy A3, welcome to my bag. ESP getting a nice little run up there, okay. If I make this putt, I'm giving this ESP Zone away. Sorry, not a bad way to end it.